Good morning. So this reading is for Friday, oh my gosh, February 7th. And here we are, just pulling a little bit about our past. One more. We got a novel and we have the Two of Pentacles on top. So let's see if that kind of shows up again. And it did, right in the center of the reading. So let's get future energy. I'm getting standing still is coming to an end. So that's an interesting message. Feels like we're coming out of hermit mode. So at the bottom of the deck here, hermit energy, Virgo. This is about a lot of internal thinking, planning something out, analyzing a situation, doing whatever you need to do to heal. It feels a lot like regaining stability and getting that clear mind and figuring out, okay, now that the fog is lifting and I am able to see everything around me, what do I really want to do? What do I really want to pursue and go after here? And it feels like you're developing some sort of plan. Even though this is Virgo energy, I'm picking up a lot of Capricorn where you're trying to plan out what your next steps need to be. And it's not just about steps 1, 2, and 3. It's about steps 25, 26. Like you're really trying to plan things out for yourself and come up with some sort of plan of action, but also in a way that feels very flexible. Like you'll have a path, but then you're going to be open to change too. It's not going to be this kind of hard and fast, this is what's happening, this is what I'm going to do, and nothing is going to get me off course. It's going to be, well, if I start going down this path and it doesn't go the way that I want it to, then I'm open to doing something different. So when I look at the past energy here, I'm getting the World, not surprised, with the Ten of Cups and the Moon. And it feels like with this energy that there was some sort of sudden realization around exactly what you wanted. You were on a path that you thought really was what you wanted, and then something happened here that I'm getting abruptly ended. And so you were on a path and there was kind of this wall that showed up all of a sudden on your path, and you thought, okay, well then how is this for me? Well, it wasn't. And this is where there was some sort of awakening or this sudden realization around what was meant for you or what is meant for you versus kind of what's in front of you right now. And so this feels a lot like the wake-up call that you needed in order to go into hermit mode and really get clear on what your next steps are. And so when I look at the current energy here, I'm getting the Three of Wands, Two of Pentacles right there in the middle. That came out with the novel, and the Death card. And so the Three of Wands and the Two of Pentacles, it feels like this is what's been happening. You've been planning a certain direction, and you've been coming up with some sort of action plan, strategy, something here that you wanted to implement. And what's happened is it just wasn't getting you what you wanted. It's almost like for every 2 steps forward you took, it was 1 step back. And so you weren't really making the progress that you thought you were. You weren't really going down this path. It feels like you were hitting a lot of resistance, a lot of friction along the way. And so something is happening here. There's a change that's taking place. This is internal to you. The way that you're viewing the situation, the path forward, all of this is shifting for you. This feels like more confirmation than anything else. This does not feel like it's earth-shattering news to anybody. And when I look at the future energy here, I'm getting the Eight of Swords, Nine of Swords, and the Six of Wands. So the way that this is coming across is the end of a cycle. There's this period of thinking and maybe overthinking with that Eight of Swords energy that's been happening here. Nine of Swords, stressing out about a situation, really almost afraid to take any kind of action here. This feels like it's coming to an end. We have the 8, we have the 9, we're at the end of this cycle, and the Six of Wands showing up with it indicates that you're going to have a lot of success in overcoming whatever this is. It's not something where you're meant to just be in your mind and really thinking things through. You're getting ready to take some sort of action here. It feels like you were almost pushed into hermit mode for a minute to kind of get clear on what you need to do, close out some sort of chapter, some sort of cycle, and then kind of exit that hermit mode and move on. So let's get some additional detail here. Okay. And the moon. So clarifying the world is the Seven of Wands. And it feels like you were resisting something. It feels like you did know that the end was coming, or you recognized the ending when it happened, but there was some sort of resistance. It feels a lot like unfinished business, that you knew that even though it was over, there was still a piece that you had to resolve internally. And that's why you aren't able to fully move on from a situation or fully exit a situation, because there was some unfinished business. And that's what the resistance feels like. Clarifying the Ten of Cups here, we have the Knight of Pentacles with the Empress. And so the Knight of Pentacles with the Empress, you're learning a lot about what you love, what you value, and also about yourself throughout this entire process. You're learning a lot about what you're willing to accept, what you're willing to go after, and where it makes sense to put your effort and energy. Not everything requires your time. Not everything is going to be meaningful or, you know, carry a lot of weight. And so why put it in your life? Why allow that to stay? And it feels like these are the lessons that you've been learning. And it feels like that's the unfinished business. There were pieces of you still needed to learn. And that's why you were kind of resisting this ending. You knew internally that there was still something more here, and the lessons were connected to you. With the moon, I'm getting at the Three of Pentacles. And so the moon's all about your emotions here. A lot of things taking place. I'm getting a lot of emotional transformation. I've been picking up on that recently anyway. But what I'm getting a sense here is that in the past, you were starting to recognize where you want to build. What is it that you want to invest in? What do you want to grow over time? And it feels like from an emotional standpoint, you're getting that clarity that you need. The Death card. Clarifying the Three of Wands, we do have the Five of Swords. So this has been going on for a period of time. You've been picking up the pieces, trying to collect yourself and really move on from some sort of situation that was maybe a lot of conflict, definitely a lot of change. It really had you shifting the way that you think about things. It's been going on for a period of time here, and it feels like things are shifting in that way, because we do have the Two of Pentacles with the Sun. And so where it feels like it's been going round and round, you're starting to understand, okay, well, I need to break the cycle. I need to get myself out of this situation. And so what's happening right now is the Sun is illuminating how you break free from this pattern, how you stop juggling all of those pentacles here, how you figure out what is the most meaningful, because it's not enough to just think about it. You have to really feel it with your entire person and really take some sort of action against it, which is how this Death card is showing up with the Strength card. And so the Death and the Strength, the color is really coming through. So the Death card has a lot of yellow, which feels connected to that Sun energy, where you're seeing things for the first time, or maybe really understanding something for the first time. And then you're inspired to take some sort of action around it. So this change that's taking place is inspirational. It's forcing you to really look at yourself and dig deep within yourself around what is it that you're trying to accomplish? Who are you becoming, and how much courage do you need in order to become that person? Because it feels a lot like stepping out of your comfort zone and doing things in a way that is very different than what you're used to. Clarifying the Eight of Swords here in the future energy, we have the Page of Wands. This is what's inspiring you to take action. You're putting an end to a cycle, and this feels like an internal cycle for sure, where you're figuring things out, you're moving forward. Page of Wands, this is really inspired action that you're taking. Clarifying the Nine of Swords is the Unknown card. You are stressed about kind of this new adventure, going in a different direction, having this new sense of freedom, it feels like, where you're seeing things differently, you're pursuing something different and in a meaningful way, something that really speaks to you on a fundamental level. I can feel it in the center of my chest. It feels like just you're honoring yourself right now. And so because this is so different, there is anxiety connected to it, but the Unknown card showing up here does indicate Even though you don't have all the answers, you know that you need to keep pushing forward. You know that your next steps are not sitting in the past or not reliving or continuing to live in that situation anymore. It is about you moving on. Clarifying the Six of Wands here, we have the Hanged Man. And so seeing things from a different perspective, really taking some sort of different approach here is going to be in your best interest. This is where you get a lot of success. Is it scary? Absolutely. Is it going to be rewarding? Is it going to align with what you want and what you value? Also, yes. And so there's something about this. It feels very inspiring to really step into your path and understand what your role and your function is and where you're going to be the happiest. And then it does take a lot of strength to really embrace that. I'm actually getting a personal story that I'm not going to share because that one is extremely personal, but it does. When you step out of your comfort zone and you really ask for strength to embrace what you want and what you love and what you value, sometimes it does mean blowing up the world around you. Sometimes it means that everything around you has to change. You have to change. This could be moving to a new physical location. This could mean uplifting and taking a job for less money. This could mean anything from getting a divorce, anything that requires major changes that other people who don't know you that well would look and say, okay, well, what's happening here? That's the kind of change that I'm picking up on. That's the kind of strength that's necessary. It's stepping into doing something that's so radically different than what anybody would expect from you. It feels like this is where you are right now and the path that you're trying to go down. And there is a lot of fear and anxiety connected to it, but there's also a lot of reward connected to it too. So it feels like this is the path that you're going down. That does frighten a lot of people. I'm definitely picking up the fear pretty strongly. So if this is something you don't feel like you're ready for, then you don't take those steps. You can make a different decision here. This is all showing up as future energy. Free will is definitely at play. And so if it's something where your guides need to ease you into it a little bit more, they will. So this is the reading for Friday. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.